Spottedleaf's Heart, Chapter 6. Phew! Spotted Paw stinks! Spotted Paw, wake up! Where have you been? You're covered in mud and you smell like the bottom of the marsh. With a jump, Spotted Paw opened her eyes. The memory of fleeing through the dark forest filled her mind, and she was half afraid that she was only dreaming, that she was back in her nest, while still trapped in that awful place. Then Red Paw's face appeared above her, and she relaxed. Did you go out last night? You need to clean yourself up before Thrushpelt sees you. Spotted Paw sat up. The moss in her nest squelched, and her belly fur was matted and filthy. Willowpaw wrinkled her nose. Did you fall in some fox dung? Be careful licking yourself clean. You might make yourself sick. Spotted Paw stood up and stretched, feeling her muscles ache as if she hadn't slept at all. Had she really been running through the dark forest all night? Was that where Thistleclaw had suffered his battle wounds? She pushed past her littermates, wanting to find somewhere quiet in the forest to wipe her fur and try to forget about what she had seen. There you are, Thrushpelt called as Spotted Paw pushed her way into the clearing. Come on, Sun and Star wants us to check the border by Ford trees. The Dawn Patrol picked up some unfamiliar scents there, so we need to make sure we don't have any unwanted visitors. The sandy gray warrior recoiled as Spotted Paw approached. Great Star Clan! What have you been doing? You're filthy! I was on my way to clean up, Spotted Paw meowed. Good. Look, I don't have time to wait for you. I'll go with Adderfang instead and meet you after Sun High for training. To Spotted Paw's relief, Thrushpelt didn't wait to find out where she had been to get so dirty. He bounded over to Adderfang, and the two warriors vanished through the gorse tunnel. Spotted Paw followed more slowly, wincing as the stony path up the side of the ravine stung her paws. How far had she run last night? She felt as sore and exhausted as she had circled ThunderClan's territory 3 times. As she reached the top, she heard a patrol approaching and ducked under some ferns to let them pass. The cats were laden with fresh kill, and Spotted Paw's belly rumbled, reminding her that she needed to eat. The last cat in the patrol was Thistleclaw. Spotted Paw held her breath, hoping he wouldn't notice her. Too late. The gray and white warrior paws sniffed, then put down his catch, a young squirrel, and padded back to Spotted Paw's ferns. Hey, he whispered. I know you're in there. Spotted Paw stuck her head out. I'm going to clean up, she mewed. My fur is so covered in mud. Thistleclaw nodded. You'll learn to wipe yourself off before you come back next time. He glanced around. Where's Thrushpelt? On patrol with Adderfang. Spotted Paw's heart beat faster as it always did when she was close to Thistleclaw. But she couldn't forget what she had seen last night. Why was he learning to fight from evil cats? So you're on your own? Thistleclaw meowed. Great. That means you can come training with me. The warrior's eyes shone, and Spotted Paw felt the whirl of questions fade inside her. I trust him, don't I? Thistleclaw started to pad back to his squirrel. I promised I'd take Tiger Paw and White Paw for some training. Patchwell has a bellyache after eating a mouse that had maggots in it. He hissed. What a bee-brain. Yes, I'll come with you. Spotted Paw felt dazed. Perhaps concentrating on training would clear her head. After retrieving his catch, Thistleclaw bounded down to camp to fetch Tiger Paw and White Paw. Spotted Paw stayed among the dewy ferns, wiping her flanks against the fronds and scraping her muddy paws on the grass. Even if her pelt wasn't completely clean, she smelled green and forest-like instead of moldy and damp. Tiger Paw scowled when she finally joined Thistleclaw and the apprentices at the top of the ravine. What's she doing with us? She's only just become an apprentice. I'll do you good to have a different training partner, Thistleclaw meowed. He blinked warmly at Spotted Paw over Tiger Paw's head. Off you go. Last one to the sandy hollow has to do Weed Whisker's ticks. Spotted Paw lunged forward with Tiger Paw and White Paw, feeling their flanks press against hers as they raced down the narrow path. Tiger Paw pulled ahead, his long legs broad shoulders eating up the ground. Spotted Paw and White Paw hurtled neck and neck toward the golden patches of sand, until Spotted Paw stumbled on a bramble and White Paw leaped into the hollow with a yowl of delight. Ha! You're on tick duty, the white apprentice declared. Panting, Spotted Paw trotted onto the sand. She was too winded to speak. Thistleclaw bounded up a moment later. You all did well, he meowed, especially Spotted Paw since she's younger than you two. White Paw rested his tail on Spotted Paw's shoulder. Yes, you were much faster than I expected. Well done. Tiger Paw just glowered. I told you she shouldn't be training with us. Thistleclaw ignored him. I want some one-on-one battle practice today, using everything I've taught you. White Paw, I'm sure Patchpelt has shown you the same moves. Spotted Paw, you can fight whoever wins this bout. This is going to be easy, Tiger Paw gloated, striding into the center of the hollow. Don't be so sure, growled White Paw. He bunched his hindquarters under him and leaped at the dark brown apprentice. Tiger Paw lost his grip on the slippery sand, and White Paw managed to force him onto his side. Come on, Tiger Paw. You can't let him win that easily, Thistleclaw urged. Tiger Paw responded by shoving White Paw backward and pummeling him with his front paws. As White Paw scrabbled to find his footing, Sam flew up and hit Tiger Paw. Ow, my eye! He screeched, stepping away from White Paw and rubbing his face with one paw. I can't see! Don't scratch it, you'll make it worse, Thistleclaw told him. Try blinking it out. Does that mean I won? Asked White Paw. His coat was dusted with sand all the way to the ends of his whiskers. His tail was fluffed out like a hedgehog. Thistleclaw nodded. All right, Sandpaw, show us what you can do. Tiger Paw groused his way over to the edge of the hollow and sat down, dramatically holding one paw over his closed eye. Spotted Paw faced White Paw, feeling the fur bristle along her spine. She had fought her littermates in mock battles before, but never an apprentice so close to becoming a warrior. White Paw gave a tiny nod to reassure her, and Thistleclaw hissed. Don't make it easy for her. Treat her as you would any opponent. In a spatter of sand, White Paw launched himself at Spotted Paw, and she felt her paws sink deeper under the weight of him. She tried to wriggle free, but she just became more stuck. Instead, she dropped to her belly, sending White Paw rolling away with an oof of surprise. As soon as the weight lifted from her shoulders, Spotted Paw pulled her legs free from the sand and spun around to leap onto the white apprentice. She took it by surprise and felt a thrill as he blinked in alarm and tried to scrabble away. In a flash, Thistleclaw was beside her, whispering encouragement. Come on, Spotted Paw, you got him now. Aim for his eyes, remember? Spotted Paw froze. She pictured Thistleclaw slashing at Houndleap's face, forcing the black cat to cower down in submission. I could never fight like that. Spotted Paw lunged sideways and let her front paws fall onto the sand with a thud. What are you doing? Screeched Thistleclaw. Why did you stop? You were about to win. Spotted Paw spun around and ran out of the hollow. Burns lashed her muzzle and thorns clawed at her sides, but she didn't stop running until she burst out on the bank of the river. The only sounds were the buzz of flies and the ragged sound of her breathing. She crouched down on the sandy shore and stared into the swift-flowing water. A dark tortoiseshell face stared back at her with white-tipped ears and huge, startled eyes. She was going to be a warrior. That meant she would always be ready to fight for her clan. But that didn't mean she had to relish the feeling of claw against flesh, or try to prove her strength against their own clanmates, or enjoy the thrill of battle the way that Tiger Paw and Thistleclaw seemed to. What I have to do is talk to Thistleclaw about the dark forest. After rinsing her paws in the shallowest part of the river to clean away the last trace of dark forest scent, Spotted Paw pushed her way back into the undergrowth. She trotted down the ravine and marched over to Thistleclaw, who was talking to some warriors below High Rock. He blinked at her in surprise when she appeared. Spotted Paw, are you okay? I thought you might be hurt, the way you rushed off like that. Thrushbelt narrowed his eyes. What do you mean? You told me you'd taken her for a training session with White Paw and Tiger Paw. I trusted you to watch out for her. Spotted Paw ignored him. We need to talk, Thistleclaw. That sounds like an order, Thistleclaw joked, glancing at the other warriors who purred with amusement. Spotted Paw didn't say a word, just trotted back across the clearing and headed up the ravine. What's this about? Thistleclaw called, leaping after her. You were brilliant against White Paw before you ran off. You obviously learned a lot last night. Spotted Paw stopped dead and spun to face him. I learned that I don't enjoy fighting for its own sake. It's the dark forest, Thistleclaw. Why do you have to go there to train? Thistleclaw twitched the tip of his tail. We can't talk here. He led her to a dense patch of brambles and forced his way into the center. where gnarled brambles as thick as a cat's tail had created an open space. Thistleclaw sat down, wincing slightly, as he tucked his hind legs under him. "You're hurt, aren't you?" Spottedpaw mewed. "Just like when your ear was clawed. Can't you see that those cats are dangerous?" Her mind filled with the image of Mapleshade crouching on the fallen tree, screeching the warriors to fight harder, use their teeth, draw more blood. "Not to me." Thistleclaw's voice is low and passionate. "They're making me the best warrior Thundercloud has ever known." "Then you must be taught by dead cats. Why not StarClan?" Spottedpaw begged. "At least they live by the warrior code. The cats you fought last night have all done something evil. That's why they're in the place of no stars." "But that doesn't mean I will be evil too. We are more than those who teach us, Spottedpaw. I want to learn everything I can from once great warriors, but I am so responsible for making my own decisions. Do you doubt me that much?" His eyes were hopeful, pleading, and Spottedpaw felt her pelt begin to lie flat. "No, I don't doubt you, but that doesn't mean I agree with your training in the dark forest." "I'm not asking for your agreement," Thistleclaw meowed. "This is part of who I am. I thought you would understand why I'm doing this. I just want to keep my clan safe. To keep you safe. I want to do anything for you, Spottedpaw." Spottedpaw stared at him, her mind whirling. "How can I argue with that? I love you as much as you love me. Please don't let me down."